Very good evening, guys. Give me a shout out if you can hear me okay. How you guys doing tonight? See if I can twist this camera a tiny bit. Cool. Got a few different things that I need to get painted, I think, at the moment. One of which is company veterans, and the other is I really need to finish this chaplain on a bike. So, probably going to start with the company veterans, get a little bit more paint on them. Good evening, Camille. Good evening, Acreal, Josh, Nicholas, Jeremy. How you guys doing? Good to see you. Let us know what you're working on tonight in the chat. I've had a pretty busy week actually, getting that. But people love the elite tier list video, for the most part anyway. Some disagreements with a few placings, but I guess we're always going to have some disagreements. The disagreements are mainly just based on like maybe what other people are running at the moment. Let me turn this light a tiny bit so it's off my face so much. Cool. Answered your comment 10 seconds ago. Alright, well I haven't seen it, so I will get to it after the stream. I like doing yellow chain swords, and yellow usually needs multiple coats. So let's start with some yellow tonight. Let me just move my tissue paper and my palette. I'll get them in camera shot, I think. But yeah, we got some groovy tunes. Just gonna be hanging out. Any Blood Angels questions you have, you know, we'll take them. Did you play Battle Sector? I was gonna play Battle Sector last night, but we actually had a power cut. I was supposed to do a review of Battle Sector because I actually the publisher gave me a free key, and I said to them like, "Hey, is there any chance I could get another key to give away to the members on the channel?" And they were like, "Yeah, okay. You just need to like put out a video." So I sat down last night to like film the Battle Sector video, and then there was a power cut, and the power cut went till basically about probably like 20 past midnight. Right as I was going to bed, I had to brush my teeth in pitch darkness, but right as I was going to bed, the power came back on, so it's like great. So I was going to film a video on Battle Sector last night, but yeah, I couldn't because we had no power. You've played 16 hours already? Wow. Cool. So what, 16 hours, how far into the game does that get you then, I guess? So I'm going to do hazard stripes on these veterans chain swords. So I could paint them black, but I think it's easier with the hazard stripes if you start with yellow and then paint over. Paint the stripes with black as opposed to paint the stripes with yellow. There are multiplayer skirmishes. Yeah, that would be cool actually. Like, I don't often stream anything on a Friday night, so maybe we could stream some multiplayer Battle Sector skirmishes on a Friday night. That finished the game already? Okay, wow. So 16 hours. Greetings, Highland. How you doing, man? Hope you enjoyed last night's video. Move this guy out of the way so I don't keep picking him up by accident. But yeah, it seems like a lot of people like the... Do you know what? I've got two new lists, Highland. One is very much infantry-based list to get advantage of the Sangria Priest, and one list leans a little bit heavier on dreadnoughts and stuff to get advantage of the Tech Marine. So I think I have two new lists basically. I think I'm going to try the infantry based list against Colin on Monday night, and then I think so that'll be up against Death Guard on Monday, and then do you know what, I might just try the infantry, because to the other list I really need a Primaris Tech Marine. So honestly I only have a Firstborn Tech Marine, so honestly I was going to order the Primaris Tech Marine on Monday. I'd kind of hoped that I would have had money before then, but no, I'm gonna have to wait till Monday to get it ordered most likely. Suppressors or ironclad dreadnought? That's a tough question. I mean, it depends on what your depends on who you're up against, right? And thanks for tuning in over on Twitch. Nice to see some. Oh, I haven't got my stream alerts on. Hold on. I turn off all my alerts and stuff when I'm recording those videos with Tony and all that. So let me just turn my alerts back on. Cool. Actually, maybe I'll zoom this camera out a little bit as well. Can I do that? No, I can only zoom in. Okay, never mind. I could push the camera a little bit further back, so that's what we'll do. Evening, Tony. How you doing? Sup, Commander. I've played 2 games against orcs today. With all the information from yesterday's video, new orcs not that good, especially against blood angels. Have a nice evening. Good night, all. Okay. So was this against toughness 5 orcs you played? I guess today. I guess. I didn't even know the new orc codex was out. I believe that it leaked. I mean, suppressors against orcs might be good now. Tough to say, you know, I have a squad of suppressors that I've never finished painting. I only ran them like a couple of times. It's some of the models that I have that are like half finished painting, to me feels like I've really failed. So hopefully, because I almost have like a nailed down army list. Hopefully once I get that army list nailed down for this tournament, I'm going to get to painting all the ones that I haven't quite finished, like suppressors and stuff. And then maybe I can use them a bit more. I generally hate fielding models that at least don't look like they're like, you know, like in a tournament you need 3 colors, right? So like I hate fielding models that have less than 3 colors on them in general. Even if it is just 3 colors of base coats, I like to at least, I like to just have something. And yeah, chainswords are quite hazardous. I saw someone actually made a chainsword in real life. That would freak me the hell out. That's like, yeah, he feels like way too dangerous. Good evening, Aaron. How you doing? Mine are green from when I bought them. The entire codex leaked. Do use clear primer. I use on the red models. I use because I used to do my colors from way back when, so I actually prime with Corax white on red on models that I do red, and then back in the day I used to always paint a coat of like blood red over it, which I believe now is Mephiston red. So I spray them white, and then I also spray them afterwards with Mephiston red, and then I take it from there. So maybe I could skip the white stage, but the thing is, I think having that extra layer of white underneath makes the red like a little bit, just brightens it up a tiny bit, so for conformity, I guess. I use clear than Mephiston red and all that stuff. Yeah, so I mean, I think that's a tried and tested way. That was the way that it was done way back when anyway, right? Like you always used to spray white primer, I believe, like, or at least maybe if you had a dark army you sprayed like Chaos Black primer, but I think back in the day a lot of people used it used to be called Skull White, right? It never used to be Corax White because they changed all the names and stuff. Or, yeah, I'm sure it used to be called Skull White. But maybe my old brain is failing me. Stompa meta is coming. So when is the codex actually releasing then? I know that it's leaked, but like when is it actually releasing? Or have they even said that? Because I have been keeping half an eye on the Warhammer community site the last few weeks, because I'd kind of said to Andrew that we'd maybe get that new Kill Team box, Because a few people have asked in like comments, they're like, hey, what do you think would be a good Blood Angels kill team for the new edition? And I'm like, I do not know. And I do like kill teams, so I thought I would, I'd grab the new kill team box and like make at least one video on the new kill team stuff, so that people know how to make a kill team if they're new to Blood Angels, or maybe you play Blood Angels in 40k and, you know, the great thing about kill team is you just have 6 models, so it's easy to transport your models around. You can play it anywhere. You need a smaller board, so kill team's fine. I don't dislike it. You can't copyright the word skull. Yeah, they changed all the names because they wanted to have them more copyrightable, I guess, right? Yeah, kill team is changing completely. Yeah, so I have the original kill team book here, and I also have the Pariah Nexus book because I did the unboxing of Pariah Nexus. I mean, I mainly bought Pariah Nexus just to get the heavy intercessors and that captain, because it actually worked out a lot cheaper to buy the kill team box than it did to buy those units individually. Because if you split the kill team box with someone, you paid like... And thanks for tuning in, Echo Mirage. I haven't seen you in a while, bro. Excuse me. Yeah, so I bought that kill team box mainly for the heavy intercessors. I mean, I don't know why I was so desperate to get them. I haven't actually fielded them in a game yet. I mean, I don't have them painted either, but yeah, I kind of figured that it was going to be cheaper to buy the kill team box halves with someone than it would be to buy them individually. It's just Games Workshop, how the prices for the individual models at this point are crazy. Like, I saw the prices for the models that came out of the Indomitus box, and like, I think you were like $100 just for the Space Marine stuff out the Indomitus box. And the Indomitus box, like if you buy it from a reseller here in the UK, it was $105. So you basically paid $5 for all the Necron stuff. Or in my case, I got in there quickly and found a Necron player and basically managed to swap him. So I actually basically have like a whole box of kill team stuff on sprues, because I swapped all the Necron stuff out my box for like another set of the Space Marine stuff. So that's why I didn't buy the Primaris Chaplain on the bike. Like this one right here, this is actually a converted Primaris Chaplain on a bike. So this was an Outrider. The book on top was stolen off like the actual Indomitus Chaplain. Like I cut it off his leg piece. This is like a Sangre Guard knife. This is the Crozius from, you know, the Blood Angels Chaplain that comes with a custom he comes with a custom set of wings. That's his Crozius, because I used those custom wings on a Smash Captain. This is a bit off like a Terminator. No, not sorry, a Dreadnought. I believe it's the bit from the top of the Librarian Dreadnoughts. Like it covers where his lance comes out, and the backpack. I don't know where I got that skull thing. But I think it was again out of the Indomitus box, and this is a custom helmet that I found on eBay that is like a Chaplain helmet. So this guy was an Outrider. This cross could have been done better, but I'm really not that good at freehand, I guess. Good evening, Martin. How you doing? I went for eBay for the Indomitus exclusive minis. Yeah, I use eBay quite a lot. Like, I think people don't check eBay as much as they should, because I swear on eBay you can get bargains. Like I was wanting some more incursors, and like I didn't want 10, I just wanted 5, and I found someone selling like 5 of them on eBay for like, I think it was like $11.99 or something, you know, like, so it was way less. It was like a third of the price of the box of incursors. I don't know why they were so cheap, but like, I guess, yeah, like I really recommend keeping an eye on eBay for things. I feel like I always find deals on eBay. Always, 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 always. Will, just seen the Elite video. Why do you make me keep buying? Going to have some Blade Guard vets. Was happy with the Terminator assaults, but transhuman, how many would you run? 3 or 5? So I was running 3, Will. I think 3 is the wrong number. 3 don't typically survive as well as you hope. I mean, think if you're running Terminators, just imagine only having a squad of 3 Terminators. They're not going to survive as well as you hope they would, even with transhuman. And arguably, like, the more models you have in the squad, the more value you're going to get out of transhuman, right? So unfortunately, I think you need 2 boxes, but Bladeguard did come in the Indomitus box. So speaking of the Indomitus box, maybe Bladeguard, maybe you need to have a look on eBay and see if you can find some Bladeguard. Like if you get 3 Bladeguard on eBay cheap, and then because they'd be the monopose ones, but you can convert the monopose ones. Like I converted all my monopose ones. Do I have one of them behind me? No. But I converted my monopose ones with like different helmets and different shoulder pads and stuff. So if you put a little bit of time and effort into it, you can convert the monopose ones. But yeah, I think 3 Bladeguard is the wrong choice. Maybe if you're running them with something else, like the list that I had that had 11 wins in a row, and I always keep coming back to that list because I feel like that list was really, really solid. Like it never lost, right? Like the reason I stopped running it was they changed all the points costs. So I had an unbeaten list for 11 games, and like Andrew and Colin and all that knew what I was bringing in the list, right? They could tailor their armies every week. I was telling them, I'm just bringing the same list, so just you come and beat this list. And what I had on that list for doing Oath of Moment was 3 Centurions and 4 Bladeguard, and both those units were really difficult to remove. So it almost meant that like I always had one of those units in the middle of the boards, and I think in most of those games I got like really high scores on Oath of Moment. Like I'm talking like the worst game or something was like 13 points from the Oath secondary. Like it was just really, really strong. So I think you can get away with 4 Bladeguard, I guess. But 3 is not enough, in my opinion. Wildling, new to the hobby here, and I want to play Lamenters because I suck at dice rolls and I love their lore. Do Lamenters have Sanguinary Guard? Yeah, so Lamenters have every unit that's in the Blood Angels Codex and the Space Marine Codex, I guess. Just what you don't have is the named characters. But the named characters aren't amazing right now. Like, the named characters are actually in kind of a poor spot, I would say. The only one that I see really taken is Dante, and even then, like, I'm on the fence with Dante. Some people in Discord and the channel here in the chat do love Dante, but like I'm really on the fence with him. I think he needs a buff. I've actually been working on a video, and I think it's going to come out in the next couple of weeks. Like I've made all the slides and stuff, I just haven't filmed any of it, and it's going to be called Make Dante Great Again. So based on that, I would say that yeah, you can have Sanguinary Guard and Lamenters and you'll be fine. If you worry that you suck on dice rolls, then what I'd say is like just add weight of dice to your army, and what I mean by that is like have larger units that are going to get to throw a lot of dice, because if you throw a lot of dice, then you know you'll get averages out and stuff like that. So I tend to think that over the course of the game the dice do kind of average themselves out though. Terminator Salt for £2.08p, not used either. You got that on eBay? If you're going to make a Primaris conversion for Corbulo, would you use Phobos or Standard? Phobos feels to me like it'd be more like a healer set of armor, right? Because it's not quite as heavy armor looking, like it feels a little bit lighter. So I think if I was going to convert a Primaris Corbulo, I think Phobos might be the way to go. Yeah. I would never run 3 the stupid amount for the Terminators. The stupid amounts for the Termies are free, so Bladeguard being cheaper, I just love the Terminator models. I mean, some people, I believe, made Bladeguard models out of the Crimson... Is it the Crimson Paladins? You know, the Forge World Crimson Paladins? I believe some people have, like, made / converted Crimson Paladins to be Bladeguard, and I guess that would be pretty cool, right? Use casino dice to get the best chance of success. Hey, Adrian, thanks so much for it. Sorry, Airdean? Sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrongly, but thank you for subscribing. Welcome to the channel. We are growing here. Would Shrike be a good base for him? Do you know what? He might be. Trying to think if there's another Primaris model that would be good for a conversion for a Corbolo. Are you gonna try and make him with like a cup in one of his hands? Is that the plan? Trying to think what the Primaris Apothecary looks like. Good evening, Robert. How you doing? It's good that you're not the only one that dual wields Space Marines. Yeah, I mean, do you know what? It's funny you say that because this guy here with the double chainsword is literally, he's the first ever Blood Angel I've made with double chainsword, and I've been in the hobby since like early 90s, I guess. Like the first thing that got me into the hobby was the 2nd edition box set. Which, yeah, I mean, I don't know what year it was, but it was... Yeah, I don't even have any of my... I was trying to think if I have any of old White Dwarfs from then that could tell me what year it was, but yeah, it was... This is the first time in, I guess, just about probably 30 years making a double chainsword Blood Angel. And I guess typically I just didn't run many characters that either could run double chainsword or I just never really considered it. But yeah, this little unit of company veterans, I think it's going to be in my tournament list. I think, just because it's quite, they're easy to hide because you just have 2 of them, and yeah, I mean they're just 44 points in this configuration: 1 storm shield, 1 chainsword, another with 2 chainswords. Yeah, I mean I guess you could file off. I have a friend who's been playing Chaos for 20 years. He loved Thousand Suns. He will not go easy on me and want some advice on what to take for a 1500 point game against him. Well, I would probably take I would take a Psyker for sure, and if you have the points to upgrade it to the Chief Librarian so you can get 2 denies, that'd be a good start, because Thousand Suns tend to be quite psychic focused, or tend to have a good psychic strength. Beyond that, they're actually in kind of a poor place because they don't have their new codex yet. So, I mean, there's a ton of videos on this channel about like getting started with Blood Angels or where to go, but like the first thing to do is like build your list with like 25% of your points as like solid long range firepower. If you do nothing else, then that's the place to start, right? Like a decent amount of solid long range firepower, probably like a couple of denies with either 1 librarian that's upgraded to the Chief Librarian, or I guess you could take 2 librarians, and then yeah, I think I don't really have that many games on the channel against Thousand Suns. No one's been playing them. We do have one guy in our meta that collects them, but yeah, no one's been playing them because they were just waiting on their 9th edition codex. Shame you can't do it rules. Ditch the shield for another sword. I pay the points gladly. I mean... Oh right, you want to put 2 swords on the blade guard. Wow. Okay. Yeah, in some ways it's a little sad that the Primaris models get a lot less customization than the Firstborn, you know that? Calixtus Assassin would work as well. Highland Phoenix is 100% right. Soul Warden would work as well. Lagmeister is right, yeah. Both those picks would be good. I think my new list is actually going to include Soul Warden because Andrew's sister's list just spits out so many mortal wounds. I think Soul Warden will help a bit against that. Hey Jeff, good evening, how you doing? Yeah, I think there's a couple of videos on the channel called like Battle Strategy, Wildling. So if you search like YouTube for Blood Angels Commander Battle Strategy, or search for secondaries, Blood Angels Commander Secondary or primaries, start there because in those ones I talk a lot about like holding objectives, picking the correct secondaries, and then yeah, what the other guy said. I think if there's one thing you take, it would be a Psyker with at least I guess Adonai would be fine, but 2 denies would be brilliant, and then yeah, Soul Warden actually might be really clutch as well. Is there a relic? Remind me. I don't often take anti-psychic relics, but is there an anti-psychic relic? Is there an anti-psychic relic in the Space Marine Codex? I'm pretty sure there's not one in the Blood Angels Codex. These are company veterans. Company veterans can take double chainswords, Joseph, and if you include a captain in your army list, then you do not have to pay the force organization slot for company veterans, I believe. I may have got that wrong, because I got that wrong, I think, when we were looking at elites this week. Let me check. Yeah, let me check. Company veterans. If a detachment includes a Blood Angels captain, then one company veteran unit can be included in the detachment without taking a battlefield role slot. Yeah, so if you already have 6 elite choices in your army, and you... Let me get that right. If you already have 6 elite choices, like if you've got a battalion and you already have 6 elites, you can take the company veterans as your 7th elite, and that doesn't break anything. That's absolutely fine as long as you have a captain. And Aline, remember, if you do upgrade a captain to chapter master, he still gets to keep the captain keyword. So this is one of the things I was complaining. This is another reason I'm making a video called Make Dante Great Again, because Dante should have that same rule in my opinion. Like, there's no reason that you couldn't take veterans. Like, Dante is the ultimate chapter master supposedly in the lore, you know, like he's the oldest living chapter master, he's an absolute badass. Why doesn't he have the captain keyword so that you can take the company veterans? Stupid. Because you can take a non-named captain and then upgrade him to chapter master, and you get to keep the keyword. Reliquary of Galithmore. It's Primaris only. What Psyker would we recommend for Blood Angels? I mean, it depends on what you want. The Librarian Dreadnought is an absolute beat stick. He's a little bit unreliable, but he is a beat stick. So if you want a Psyker that's just going to go in and do a lot of damage, the Librarian Dreadnought is what I'd recommend. If you want one that's like going to sit around with your other units and buff them and be generally more of a force multiplier, then a lot of people like the Firstborn with the jump pack. I actually think the one in Terminator armor is not bad either. It depends on how you, or I suppose it depends on what you want to, how you want to play it, right? You take the one with the jump pack is going to be better if you take stuff like Null Zone, and you need to get across the battlefield and like Null Zone an enemy unit. The one in the Terminator armor is going to be just more survivable if you end up getting hit by hard enemy fire, right? He's got one more wound as well. And the one more wound is nice if you get pearls, because I always seem to roll pearls. What are your thoughts on tactics for the next game against Andrew? Going to go for the throat, Val, and the Canoness with overwhelming force? I can't, Highland. I really can't do that because the Canoness so he hangs out the Celestian Sacrosancts. He hangs out like 15 of them together, right? Next to Val and a Canoness, and that Canoness has a relic that makes unit within 3 inches fight last. So like, that's why I didn't, in the game that we played last week, that's why I didn't push the Blade Guard in turn 2, because like, he's gonna get to fight first. And remember, once per game, Val can fight twice in combat. And she already gets like, was it 6 attacks, and every 6 is an extra, she's got like exploding 6s. So realistically, she's got 12 attacks with exploding 6s. Like he can choose as well if he uses that fight. So if he absolutely demolishes you, he's not going to choose to fight twice. But if he doesn't, he gets to choose to fight twice, and then he gets to demolish you. So I can't just run in there. Like, whatever I put in there will get slaughtered. And those Celestian Sacrosancts really are Marine killers with their strength 5, 2 damage weapons. Like, they will just wreck Marines, I guess. I was going to say something else. Let me think. I think I have to go for flanks, honestly, in that matchup. Go after units on the flanks, try and get them off objectives, and wait until the battle thins out a little bit and I can get a better shot at Morgan Val. Or the other thing would be to go full in first. But remember, those Sacrosancts get to heroically intervene as well. So you would have, if you did make a charge on Morgan Val, you've got potentially the Canoness with the fight last heroically intervening, and then you've potentially got like 15 Sacrosancts heroically intervening. I mean, you can stop him doing some heroic intervention with good placement, but it's pretty difficult. You know, it's going to be very situational. If he places them correctly, then there should almost be no option for you to do that, right? So at that point, you're just on him, waiting for him to make a mistake to make that a valid tactic. If he doesn't make the mistake, then then you can't do that tactic. Is a grenade launcher on intercessors any good, or is it a waste of 5 points? I kind of always think grenades are a waste of points. Well, grenades aren't a waste of points. Grenades generally don't do much, right? Like one frag grenade or one crack grenade in close combat generally don't, or in close range rather, 6 inches generally don't do much. So yeah, I probably, if you've got 5 points to spend, I would try and do something better with it. How much is a power sword on an intercessor sergeant? If that's 5 points, that's going to get my choice over a grenade. Give that unit a bit of melee potency, because intercessors aren't bad in that they do get I think the sergeant has 3 attacks, right? So if you get charged, after turn 3, you're gonna get 5 attacks. 5 power sword attacks is not bad. I'd say that's a much better option than the grenade launchers. I saw his list. I actually watched the video. He's running Terminators and Librarian Dreadnoughts. I'm not sure the competitiveness of that list. He's also still running like a Firstborn Jump Captain, which is fine, I guess. But like for me, I just much prefer the ones on bikes. Like they're cheaper and they get more toughness, and very, very rarely does the bike have an issue with terrain and movement, I find. Need more deep striking with Icon of the Angel and Canticle of Hate. Yeah, that's just the thing. I think I have to almost wait for all the... Like, I think I have to play much slower Highland, and I think I have to almost wait for all of his deep strike units to come in and then react after that. Like, I mean, most of his firepower is flamers, right? So, like, I can sit at range. I mean, I guess Morgan Val can shoot me, but it's... The fact she gets to reroll her hits and her wounds, I think, is a little bit broken. Like it's just too much. Her damage is just too guaranteed, right? You know, like it's a Cyclone missile launcher. So like a Cyclone missile launcher with reroll hits and wounds with a BS of 2, it's just a little bit too powerful because it's like hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s, wounding on 2s, rerolling 1s. I really do think it's just a little bit too powerful, I guess. Deep Strike 5 Plasma Scepters. Do you know what? I don't actually own 5 Plasma Scepters. I only own 3 myself, and here's my issue with Plasma Scepters, right? Their damage is good, but as they've increased the points of the damage, they don't survive. They're just a toughness 5 Marine with 3 wounds. You know, like at the points cost they are now, the enemy can wipe them out pretty easily, I think. Like I was running 3 regular Inceptors with the bolters, and like usually they come in, they shoot once, and then they just get munched. And I mean that's okay when the unit costs what, 120 points for the regular ones. If the unit's like 300 points for the plasmas and you've got 5 of them, like 300 points is a lot to lose for 1 round of shooting, which can be swingy as well because you know, if we end up having to shoot the the mortifiers, then you're on D3 shots, right? You're not going to get a guaranteed number of shots against those mortifiers. Evening, Jar Miniatures. How you doing, man? What's up, Levi? Yeah, what's everyone working on tonight, then? Hit me with what projects you guys are on. I'm going to order a Primaris Tech Marine on Monday, I think. Tony, Suicide Squad. See, I hate suiciding units, honestly. That's one of the reasons I don't take the Death Company with Forlorn Fury. And I like the damage they can do, and I like the Forlorn Fury. I just hate giving up units for free, I guess. Like, if I give up a unit, I feel like I need to achieve something for giving up that unit. Do you have any plans on playing Dukari Admech on stream anytime soon? Would be interested to see, as they're both really scary bad guys at the moment. So we have a player that plays for Scotland that plays Admech, and I have been trying to get him on the stream now for probably the best part of 2 or 3 months. you got to remember that like some people are still quite worried about COVID. Not everybody's had their double vaccinations. So I mean, I'll keep trying. And the guy knows that I want to play him like on any given Monday night, because we play every Monday night, right? But I messaged him just last week and said like, hey, are you gonna play soon? So I'll ping him again. So that's an AdMech player I'm actively working on. I haven't pinged the Jakari player in a little while, but last time I pinged him, it was, again, just a little bit worried about COVID and stuff. So things in Scotland are drastically improving now, though, right? The cases are going down every day. I mean, all restrictions, legal restrictions, I believe, in Scotland are gone now. But I mean, we still are getting like 1,500 cases a day. But if you go back 2 weeks, it was like 3,000. So it is dropping almost like 50 cases a day. So I guess hopefully sooner rather than later, yes, I would love to play against Dukari and AdMech. And I think I'm trying to arrange a game against a guy who plays Dark Angels as well, because we haven't played them on stream for a while. So, do you know what? And I've got another friend that plays Space Wolves. Yeah, it's just been slow. I mean, in like the very local vicinity, I have Andrew and Colin, and Andrew plays Death Guard, and Colin plays Death Guard, and Andrew plays Sisters, and I guess, yeah, it's just been difficult to get people. You know, like, I also have another friend that, not Andrew, that actually like only focuses on Necrons, and like he's had one jab, and I've spoke to him a couple of times and said like, hey, you know, you want to play on the stream? He's like, yeah, just give me a little bit more time. So like he's just waiting on his second jab. So hopefully over this next 6 months or something, we can start getting a bit more varied pool of people that play. I don't want to force anyone to play if they're not comfortable, right? And yeah, some people, like, I think it was only this week that they moved to level 0 restrictions. So like, I believe if you're in a shop, you're supposed to still wear a mask. I'm not sure if it's still in the law that you have to wear a mask this week, but up until last week, yeah, it was law and stuff that you still had to wear masks. Apparently Scotland is unlocking on the 9th of August, which is like 2 weeks away, so maybe after that it'll be easier to get those people, like, people will feel more comfortable. And like I said, the cases, if you go into Google and you search COVID cases in Scotland, they are in a very distinct downward trend as the vaccine rollout continues, I guess. Which is great news, right? Because the amount of people that have died from COVID is disgusting. You know, like so many families have had people taken from them. So hopefully it's a bit of light at the end of the tunnel, right? It's too hot to paint in Ireland. It's hot. You know what? I've got a roof fan in this room. Let me turn it on. I was going to say it's super hot in here tonight. Yeah, okay. I wish Overheat just did a mortal wound now, but silly destroying models. Yeah, it is silly that it destroys models. Do you know what? I actually thought Mephiston might actually not be a bad pick against Andrew. You know that? Because he can hide around places and stuff, and he's toughness 5. I just don't think I have room in my list for a Mephiston pick. I think what I'm going to include, though, and the reason, Highland Phoenix, that I have my Primaris Chaplain on a bike here is I think I'm taking Primaris Chaplain on a bike with Soul Warden, and I think I'm partly taking it to counter Andrew, but I'm also taking it because I think it's going to be good in tournament setting, right? Because you don't know who you're up against in a tournament setting, and I feel like I'm going to be up against multiple armies that maybe potentially can do some mortal wounds. So I think Primaris Chaplain with Soul Warden gives me that guaranteed shrug against mortal wounds. And I kind of like that. Good evening, Dolph. How you doing, man? Not seen you in a little while. Hope you're well. And hey, Kevin, what's up? Did you guys like last night's video? Where is NC? Is that North Carolina? American geography sucks. I've only been to about 3 or 4 places in America. I'd like to go to more, but The only thing I overcharge are Plasma Scepters, but I really only when they come out of Deep Strike and have Descent of the Angels. Rerolling ones until one happens. Yeah, I mean, rerolling ones to one is a 3% chance, I think, but it does happen, I guess. If you're throwing, what have you got, 5 of them, 30 odd dice? Yeah, a reroll a 1 into 1 seems like it could happen. Dear James Workshop, please make Mephisto better or cheaper, thank you. Yeah, you guys are gonna have to tell me what you think of the Dante video that I'm working on, because it's literally called Make Dante Great Again, based on, remember a few months ago we did like a community post, yeah, it was like a community survey, and like I think it was like 80% of people said that they wanted to see Dante be better than he is right now. So I've followed that up, and I've actually redesigned Dante, so it'll be an interesting video. North Carolina, okay, cool. I've been to the southern part of America a few times, but never North Carolina. He's not using Litany of Faith then, giving Michael the Angel of Vengeance and Fury. We are going to give him nothing, because command points. All my lists seem to start with really low amounts of command points, so I am trying to start with a good number of command points. And to do that, like, I'm already giving him selfless... No, not... I'm already giving him... What is it? Come on, use your brain, John. I'm already giving him Hero of the Chapter to give him Soul Warden, right? So I don't have command points to give him a relic. And I mean, I can, but then I'm back into that horrible situation where I'm starting the game with like 5 command points. The double patrol list, as cool as it is, you know, or sorry, the patrol in Vanguard, I guess, you giving up 3 command points right at the start before you even do anything, it does make it a bit tougher. I think I do prefer it to the battalion, but based on that, no, I'm not giving him anything. Didn't you go through Dante's old rules a bit ago when he was like Strength 5 and T5 and a bunch of other abilities as well? I think it's the 2nd edition rules. Yeah, you're very right. I haven't included that in the video, Levi, but do you know what? I think I will mention it now that you tell me about it. Because yeah, Dante did used to be Strength and Toughness 5. I don't know why really they took that away from him. But yeah, no, I've tried to make an interesting video where we really talk about like what it would take, and I think Blood Angels is a little bit underpowered right now, I would say. So one thing that might make us more powerful would be some sort of ability that is based on jump pack units, like a jump pack assault ability or something, like a buff around Dante for jump pack units, you know. So I've kind of tried to add something along that line, and basically maybe James Workshop will listen. I doubt they will, but I mean, I'm making the video anyway, right? Yeah, you're right. Exactly what you said, Jar Miniatures. You're 100% right. I was running 2 Redemptors, right? Before the point increase. And that list with the 2 Redemptors was my list that went like 11 wins in a row. And I know I keep coming back to that, but I think the reason I come back to it is because obviously, like, I had a solid plan with that 11 in a row list, and I wanted to know like what's changed, because obviously the points costs changed and I had to drop some stuff because that list went up in points. So I was trying to work out, like, one of the things that list had was 2 Redemptors, and in my recent losses against Sisters I only had 1 Redemptor. So yeah, I do generally think 2 Redemptors is very, very good. I lost against Sisters last week with 2 Redemptors, so I guess it's not a sure thing, but I think it is a lot stronger to have 2 Redemptors than to have 1. And I think the rule of 2 probably applies to just about any dreadnought, actually. Like, if you were going to have a Leviathan Dreadnought on his own, or if you're going to have a Leviathan and a Redemptor, I think having that Redemptor instantly just makes the Leviathan stronger, maybe because why not take a trait and take Litany of Faith then? Because I want him to have Mantra of Strength. I suppose the question, Highland, is you could have the guaranteed. You could take the Relic Benediction of Fury and have the guaranteed 3 damage, or you could and then take Litany of Faith, or you could take Soul Warden and have the guaranteed Mortal Wound Shrug, and then take Mantra of Strength to get the potential 3 damage. And I think that. I mean, like, I think he does. He's got 6 attacks, right? And he hits on 2s, and his Crozius is like strength 6, so I think it's probably fine. I mean, now that you mention it, it's interesting you say that. I like the idea of having the mortal wound up all the time, right? Because I don't have the points to pay for the Wiserator, so the litany is only going to go off in 3s. So because the litany is only going to go off in 3s, I'd rather risk losing that extra damage for a turn or 2, as opposed to losing the mortal wound shrug for a turn or 2. And remember, trying to build a list that fights against everything. So like if at the tournament, if there's a Necron Catan or something, and I don't know how much experience you have playing against Catan, but I have a little experience, and they throw out a ridiculous amount of mortal wounds every turn, right? Lagmeister says one rule I'd really like to see is Blood Angels get some way to advance and charge. I feel like that's one of the things that I'd said. That was the buff. I have to double check, but I think that might be one of the buffs that I thought that might be really good on like a new character, or sorry, like a reborn Dante. I'll have to check. But yeah, it's what would you say the best combat patrol box is for Blood Angels? I think it's the Dark Angels box, Spiderwing, because you get the Redemptor in there, you get the Inceptors, which can be made as either bolters or plasmas. I think you get Intercessors and you get a Chaplain. I mean, those 2 parts not so much, but yeah, Kevin says Dark Angels box as well. Yeah, waiting for the box set like Celestine, which features Primaris Dantis and 2 Primaris Sanguinary Guard bodyguards like Magnar. Yeah, I mean, I think if they made that box, Highland, like, it would sell a shitload, right? Like, everybody would buy it. I don't know anyone that wouldn't buy it. I really think it would sell a lot. Val is a High Lord, so she needs some respect, but she's no Dante. Val is super cheap, honestly. Do you think putting as many Blood Angels, Primaris, Apothecaries in the list works in the current meta? Do you think putting as many Blood Angels, Apothecary models in the list works? What do you mean by as many? I don't understand, sorry, Anthony. I use 2 ATVs with multi-melters on the Leviathan. I'm taking the tournament in middle August. I'll let you know how it goes. Yeah, I like the ATVs. We had a huge big discussion after we made that fast attack video. A lot of people dislike the ATVs. I think for the points cost, I think they get quite a lot of wounds, right? If you think about it, they're only 25 points more than a bike, and they have double the wounds. So if you break it down, it's almost like, you know, like, yeah, I think they're just very efficient in wounds. I mean, they have no core, and they have no, oh, was it just, yeah, they have no core, and they can't be rezzed by the Sanguinary Priest, but I think the fact that they have 8 wounds is pretty tasty, and, they do have the Primaris keyword, so you can transhuman them if you really wanted to. I kind of also feel like you don't need to run them as a squad because they have no core, right? So if they're not as a squad, They can essentially all work as individual entities, and that way any incoming fire gets, you know, like if people overkill them, then, you know, when they shoot attack bikes, you need them as a squad because you're rezzing them. Against the invader ETVs, you don't need that, so the enemy potentially lose firepower when they're trying to kill the invader ETVs because they got to split fire to kill both of them, or they got to do something, right? I own 2 Catans and they're not powerful compared to a ton of the new stuff, and especially for their points. You're probably right, Reziel, but like I still think like Catans can pretty easily dish out about 10 mortal wounds in a single turn, right? I think some of them can like cast like 2 powers, and then if you have a successful power, you can cast a third, and each power can, yeah. I'm sure I fought against Andrew's Nightbringer, and like you can dish out like 10 mortal wounds or something. So just having the ability to have like that permanent protection from mortal wounds, to me seems better than having the permanent 3 damage from the Crozius. I mean, I think the Chaplain will do fine, and on the odd turn that Mantra of Strength does go off, then you'll be, you know, you'll be golden. You get Power Sword for the Intercessor Sergeant. I mean, that's true, says Camille. Yeah, so the Dark Angel box is like probably definitely the best for Blood Angels. Yeah, you could put a Power Sword on the Intercessor Sergeant. So those Intercessors are okay. Arm them with auto bolt rifles. So you get, I guess you get 3 useful units. And I mean, technically you could use the Chaplain if you have an Outrider or something, or you find an Outrider on eBay. You could maybe even use the Chaplain to convert an Outrider into the Primaris Chaplain on the bike. I mean, that's what I did here. Like, this is my converted Primaris Chaplain on a bike. It didn't take much. I mean, like 80-90% of this model is just the Outrider. I had a game with Hector Rex in the list, and it was super fun having him in there. So how did Hector Rex do? I mean, did you give him the 3+ invulnerable save? Because I think that's, when I looked at him, I think that was the thing that I liked the most about him, right? He's got a Mortal Wound Shrug and a 3+ invulnerable save. He's Forge World only, so you have to pay through the nose for him though, right? Like, he's an expensive model to buy. The ATV looks like it came straight out of Mario. Yeah, and I think that's one of the reasons that people hate it. Possibly more than the rules. People just hate the way the Invader ATV looks. If you Google ATV Mario, someone actually literally painted one exactly like it was Mario with Luigi in it. I think I showed it on a stream before and people were like, oh my god, we hate it even more. Do you know what? I saw the trailer for June last night, the new June movie, and I actually thought that looked pretty cool. I don't know why that just popped into my head there. Val is 265 points and has all the rules, and the Nightbringer is 370 points and has like half the rules. Seems a bit off. Yeah, the one thing the Nightbringer has is that against its weapons you can't use invulnerable saves, right? And it does have that annoying rule where you can only do 3 damage to it per phase. I mean, they're both good. Val is potentially, in my mind, about 50 points cheaper than she needs to be. Here's the messed up thing, right? They removed Gilliman's 380 points. And they removed Gilliman, because Gilliman used to let all models reroll wounds as well, because it used to be hits and wounds Gilliman did. And they literally changed Gilliman to only reroll ones and wounds, because they thought it was too strong that it could reroll hits and wounds. So Val, they gave reroll hits and wounds to one other unit, when it's a unit of like Celestian Sacrosancts that's bodyguarding her. That's ridiculous. You've got like, they get like 40 strength 5 minus 2 damage hits with 6s bursting. Reroll all hits and wounds. So you're usually wounding on 3s, rerolling everything. Wounding on 3s, rerolling everything with 6s bursting. It's disgusting. And then they actually made her Warlord trait that she rerolls hits and wounds in close combat as well. So it's like at the moment, if you ask me then, like, I don't see how she's 125 points cheaper than Gilliman, right? Like, in some ways she's better than Gilliman. She has one less wound, but all the damage is halved. Sure, she has one less on her invulnerable save, but like, it feels to me that like a 3+ invulnerable save is pretty much the same as a 4+ with all damage being halved. I mean, in some ways that means that she's 16 wounds, right? If all damage is halved. So she's basically got like 7 more wounds than Gilliman, potentially. 1 less on her invulnerable save, and she gets to reroll hits and wounds. I don't understand the logic on that, really, honestly. Have you seen the orc models rules? Some of them seem pretty strong, like the Kill, Rix, and Musgor Scarbrand seem really OP to me. I have not seen the new orc codex yet. I know it leaked on, but it was actually saying that, like, do I want to play orcs on the channel? So I guess let's play after the new codex, but I'm not sure if he's... I mean, he rules and he wants to use the new codex, then we could get a game against orcs up on the channel a little bit sooner, I suppose. That'd be fine with me, right? Sadly, I must go. Thanks for hanging out, Reziel. Good to see you, man. He can do 4 mortal wounds on his melee attacks. Okay. I mean... So did anything change with Gaskell then? Do I have a home... Do you know what? I have the GW painting handle. I have no idea where it is. Jar Miniatures, but I use this magnifying glass. It's just off camera. I'm sure you guys have seen it. Like it's like a ring magnifying glass, and because the magnifying glass is literally right here, like I'm tapping it, like it's just out of shot. A painting handle just means I keep bashing it into it all the time. So before I got the magnifying glass, I used to use the painting handle all the time, but honestly, like my painting has drastically improved since I got the magnifying glass, so I don't seem to have too many problems, I guess. The spice must flow. Yeah, the spice must flow. I like the old Dune movies, even though they were really bad. I kind of like the lower Dune. It kind of maybe the reason I like it is like in some ways it feels a bit Space Marine-y, right? But yeah, let's hope the new movie's good, because Dune doesn't have a track record of doing good content, does it? Wow, I just got gold paint everywhere. I don't even know how I managed that. Look at that. I'm golden! I'm turning golden. I use a plastic cup upside down with sticky tack. Yeah, I've seen some people use that as well. I've seen some people use like Coke cans or bottle tops, like plastic bottle tops and stuff. But yeah, no, I guess because I use this magnifying glass, it's just a pain. So based on that, I end up just using my hands. I did finally order a wet palette though. I did a Kickstarter one. Thanks, Martin. Yeah, the magnifying glasses are pretty cool, especially the ones with lights in them. Like, I just got one because like my eyesight, like I honestly find it really difficult to focus on some of the Warhammer stuff when it's so small. So, I mean, I'm short. I was gonna say I see things far away fine. Like I don't need my glasses for driving, but I need them for looking like for reading or like computer use. That's what I need my glasses for, right? So I guess like my eyesight is generally quite bad up close. So this magnifying thing helps so much. It's unreal. Like I think honestly, since I got it, like my painting improved like a lot, and Yeah, the other thing I noticed that like is if you pick up my models, like you'll very rarely find any bits of paint. You know, like I may not be able to do all the fancy edge highlighting and stuff, but like generally like the control of the colors like is spot on. You know, like if a bit is supposed to be a specific color or stuff, like it's very, very accurate, I guess. So I don't think I'm ever going to win any painting competitions, but like my colors on the models are generally quite accurate, I guess. So that's. And before I had the painting magnifying glass, I got frustrated that I couldn't keep the colors super accurate, I feel like. So that's, if you've never tried it, you get one of these magnifying glasses on like eBay for like, I think I got this one on Amazon. It was like $20. The Sci-Fi Channel June miniseries was pretty good. Yeah, that was Alex. Sorry, no, it wasn't Alex. It was William Hurt, right? Alec Newman, that's the one. Yeah, that was better than the original movie for sure. But I mean, I saw that original movie when I was a young kid, the one with Sting in it, and like I liked it when I was a young kid, but looking back at it now, I didn't realize how bad it was. I need to sleep soon. When you said bottle tops at first, I thought you said Molotovs. Yeah. We're gonna burn these models down, man. Get some Molotovs on there. My wife got a nice circular LED lamp with an open top that is a giant magnifying glass, never going back. Yeah, I it's one of these weird things, right? Like, have you ever, like, I have one of these fancy mice with like all the side buttons on it, and like I used to play, like, let's say, you know, any sort of MMO game. I actually played Warhammer Online for a long time. I played Warrior Priest in that game. I was in a big guild, and I actually really liked it. I was sad when they closed it down. I'd stopped a long time before that, so I mean, I guess I was part of the problem. But I did like Warhammer Online. I actually played it with Andrew. Andrew was a Bright Wizard. I was a Warrior Priest, and I have like a bunch of side buttons on the mouse. In fact, it's one of these mice with like 12 side buttons on it. And if I ever try to play like a video game elsewhere without that mouse, because I'm so used to binding all the keys and stuff onto the side buttons, I'm like, yeah, I just can't play this here because I don't have my mouse. And that's how I feel about painting with the magnifying glass. It's like if I try and paint without the magnifying glass, I'm just like, oh my god, I just can't paint without this thing now. Like, I just feel like I don't have the accuracy, or I just generally don't like it. Did anyone else in the channel play Warhammer Online? Do you know what? I haven't played Diablo in... Why every time am I opening this gold pot of paint am I getting... Lovely, right. I gotta fix this. I haven't played Diablo in ages, Dolph. Probably... I don't know, like 3 months or something. It's been bad. I planned on getting the Diablo 2 remake, which I think is end of September, but I haven't had a chance to. I haven't been playing Diablo. I have been doing a lot of YouTube content, right? One second. Like I've done. I'm just gonna clean up. This is why people hate these GW jars. Look at all this shit that accumulates around the edge of the paint jar. And they say like, they're like, people are like messaging Games Workshop like, please change the type of pots that you put the paint in, because the paints are good, just the pots are crap. I often have to do this, like scrub around the edge of the pots. Maybe I don't know why, like maybe I don't clean the pots or close them properly, but like, is that gonna close now? Yeah. Hopefully that's it. Hopefully. Yeah, no, I planned on getting the Diablo 2 remake when it came out. I don't know what platform I'm getting it on. Maybe PC or... See, the thing is, like, with my young daughter, it's much easier for me to play a game on the Switch or something, because, like, I can... You know, I can look after her while I play a video game or something. I don't even know what Warhammer Online is. It was a MMORPG based in, like... I guess, like... Based in... I guess just like based in the old world, so like Warhammer Fantasy before Age of Sigmar, and I believe it released in like, geez, what year would it have been? It must have released in like 2008 or something. Like, it was a long ass time ago. I liked it a lot. I thought it was a cool game. You know, there was a phase there where like everyone was releasing like big AAA MMOs, because we got that Star Wars one, we got the Warhammer Online one, and then for some reason, I guess companies sort of started moving away. I think the problem with MMOs is you got to make content really quickly, because people... You can't make the content as quick as people devour it, I guess. And that's what causes people to quit MMOs, and that's what causes them to fail, I guess. Duncan is launching a paint line soon. I did not know that. Oh, so Brendan played Warhammer Online. I look at the Warsuit, ATVs, and Leviathan as if we don't have a great base of fire. We will die now. What do you mean, Martin? I'm sorry. Cheap makeup brushes are great for dry brushing. Bite the bullet and spend an evening transferring them all to droppers. Yeah, you know, I probably should transfer them all to droppers. I've never done it before, and I guess when you've never done something before, you're always apprehensive to do it, right? GW makes more money by making it harder to get the paint on the palette. Yeah, you're probably right. I mean, I don't know if they make that much more. These tubs of paint generally seem to last me a long time, right? Like, I think I go through like a pot of red like every 6 months or so. Maybe I'm just I am a slow painter though, like really slow. Like, Duncan's paint will be all dropper bottles. Yeah, that's very true, Camille. There is that new Steam Deck coming out. I do like the look of that. I think it'll be... I think they said it's going to be like... Is it end of this year or is it end of next year? But... I mean, maybe it's going to have the same problems as like PlayStation 5s and stuff, where like you just can't get them for... Because I think the PlayStation 5 has been out for about a year now, right? And you just cannot buy it in a shop. Like, if you go online and look to buy a PlayStation 5, like, it's almost like good luck, you won't find one. Well, unless you go on eBay and you're willing to spend $1,000 on a $400 console, right? There's a big shortage of certain microchips or something. I don't know if it's to do with COVID or if it's just there's a shortage of these chips in general, but like it's the same for like camera equipment. Like, because I bought a new camera, the camera that's actually filming me just now, and like it took ages. Like because I guess like the camera is just out of stock everywhere, because there's chips inside the camera that manufacturers just can't get their hands on because of... I believe part of it was COVID and part of it was that ship that was blocking the Suez Canal. Like a lot of shit got delayed big time because of that ship. Anyone grab Battle Sector off Steam yet? I did not, but a few other people said that they had been playing it already. I just don't want to invest in it. I don't want to have to buy paint pots for my paints. Oh, it's Camille. He's 16 hours into the game and he loves it. I mean, I did enjoy the beta. I've been wanting to play it. I just haven't found the time this week, I guess. I'll maybe have like a quick review video out of it next week if possible, if I get time. I don't get that much time, honestly. Like I get evenings when my daughter's asleep, and that's the only time I get. And someone actually came on tonight and was like, "Why is this stream so late?" I was like, because my daughter literally just went to sleep. Hey Camille, thanks for becoming a member for, what is that? The 4th month in a row. That's much appreciated, brother. I finished the campaign already, 20 hours. So what difficulty did you guys play the campaign on then? Because in the beta there was like a few different difficulties, right? I think I played on the medium one. But the medium one seemed pretty solid. On one of the missions there was just so many Tyranids, like they were just coming out of the woodwork. Why 2 chainswords? Because he's a company veteran and I wanted to keep him at 20 points. So, I mean, I could have taken a bolt gun and a chainsword or a bolt pistol. I think a company veteran can actually have a bolt gun and a chainsword, right? Because you can replace his bolt gun or his bolt pistol with a weapon. But like, I just thought that like if you replace it with a chainsword, then you get 2 guys, right? 44 points, and they get 12 attacks. Because this guy gets 2 attacks, 2 more chainswords, 4 attacks, charges, savage echoes, 6 attacks. The sergeant gets 3 attacks, 4 from the chainsword, 2 more on charging and savage echoes. Yeah, so you get 12 attacks out of the 2 guys. So why not, right? I mean, I don't know. I just had it in my head. I was like, what are they really going to do with a bolt gun? You know, 1 more strength, 4 shot. These guys are probably going to be hiding as well, right? Because they're going to be hiding doing objectives and secondaries. So if they're hiding doing secondaries, then they're probably not going to shoot the bolt gun anyway. So when we get to close combat, why not just have 1 more attack with them? I think 12 attacks on a 2-man squad is actually pretty decent too. That's very Corn Berserker. Well, this is a Death Company chainsword, right? So why not? Maybe they're on the brink of joining the Death Company. Unfortunately, why can't Death Company take 2 chainswords? That's a very good point. Maybe they're on the brink of wanting to join the Death Company, and they're like, well, let me just try out this 2 chainsword thing. Yeah, I mean, if that Steam Link... No, sorry, no, I have a Steam Link. That's the thing where like you can play your Steam games in another room, but like it's kind of shit, honestly. Like it always seems like the it's not the frame rate that's the problem. It's like the graphics quality lowers when there's intensive things and it goes all pixely and stuff. So the Steam Link has never really worked great for me. Like I like the idea of it. And I got it super cheap, right? I guess they were like, when they were discontinuing it, I guess the reason they were discontinuing it now is for the new console. I got it for like, I actually bought 2 of them because I was like, oh, that thing might be handy. I got them for like £4 each or something. And yeah, I mean, you can play games in other rooms, but it's pretty unreliable and the quality is questionable at times. So hopefully the console idea is much better. Why do Death Company take morale tests? Because whoever wrote the 9th edition book is not... I don't know. I mean, we never used to have to take morale tests, right? I believe in 2nd edition you never even got to choose. The Death Company just always had to charge the nearest enemy as well, which was kind of fun. So your opponent could actually kind of use that against you if you positioned like a crappy unit. Then it would be like, oh, the Death Company have to charge the crappy unit. But yeah, I think the Death Company needs some love to make them to make them good again. I mean, in some ways... Hey John, thanks for subscribing. In some ways, maybe there's going to be an advantage to having our codex out early, right? Like, because they'll realize that, like, wow, Blood Angels aren't very strong and need some buffs. But it's just going to be sad, like, how long we're going to have to wait for that. Yeah, I mean, the Steam Link does stream the games off your PC, right? But I guess, like, maybe you... Like, I've only got Wi-Fi on my Steam Link, so maybe it works better if it's, like, a wired connection. Because I guess you're right, it should just be streaming, and you would... Here's the thing, though, right? I can stream, like, my TV is in the other room from my router, and, like, we have a 4K telly, and like, my wife has... Like... I'm pretty sure we can stream 4K content on Disney Plus or Netflix, right? So like, if we can stream 4K content, then why can't I stream my game? I guess like maybe the Steam Link just isn't very good. So that might be a little bit of a worry with this new Steam thing, right? Like why can I stream like fine off like a streaming service, but I can't stream a game in the other room? So I guess I don't know why. Hey Chris, thank you very much. I'm glad you enjoyed the tier list video. Yeah, I mean, those tier list videos are pretty fun to make, and I think we've got 2 more to come. So I mean, stay tuned. I think there's HQ, and then I think we'll do Forge World as well. And honestly, those videos have actually made me reconsider some of my picks as well. Like I was running Centurions every game, and I guess I'm thinking now probably not going to run Centurions. Why do sisters get 14-point models that are way better than 14-point scouts? They were sleeping when they wrote the BA Codex. Hey Benjamin, yeah, I mean, I don't know what they were thinking with those sisters models that are 14 points. Like, sure, they're toughness 3. That's their one thing going against them, but like, I don't know if there's that big a difference between toughness 3 and toughness 4 that those guys need to only be 14 points, honestly. Maybe if they didn't, you know, maybe if they weren't bodyguards, and maybe if they didn't get to heroically intervene, and maybe if they didn't get to set to defend when anyone charged them, they could be 14 points, but it just feels like there's too many rules on them for a 14-point model. But I mean, don't get me wrong, Sisters players will tell you otherwise. Sisters players will tell you they're perfectly balanced. I have a good router, Camille. It's like the BT... I don't know, it's one of the newer BT ones, like it's like BT Fiber or something. It's supposed to be like fat. I can't remember what they call BT Hub 1 or some shit. But I mean, it's supposed to be the best, like, because obviously I stream and I need a good upload rate to stream. I think you need like 15 or 16 megs up to stream. So it's a good router. But that's the thing, right? Like, how can I stream? Like, my computer is only like 1080, so how can I stream? How can I stream a 4K movie, but I can't stream a video game in 1080? I mean, that's the thing that doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, so the new Steam thing is just going to be a handheld thing with no streaming, which I guess would solve my problem anyway. I just wonder how long it'll be before they're in stock for general purchase, based on, I guess, all other sort of big tech things are having problems due to COVID or due to whatever reason that no one can get stock of those transistors. For turning off Overwatch, they're not good since they hit on a 4+ if they move. The Whirlwind is better in that regard. Oh, you're talking about suppressors. Yeah, I mean, it feels like if the enemy is an infantry-based army, you only need to make a single hit with 9 autocannon shots, right? So, and if you argue it, even if you move Lagmeister, right? So if you move all your suppressors, and you shoot each suppressor, so it's 3 shots per suppressor at 3 different enemy troops, I feel like you're gonna like that would be each shot, or each 3 dice you need a single 4-up. I feel like that's a pretty good odds roll, right? Like, I feel like with 3 dice you can roll 1 4-up to turn off Overwatch. Like, I don't think that's bad. You think they're mainly not balanced because of the bodyguard rule? I mean, the bodyguard rule is very strong. It, combined with Morgan Val, it's kind of crazy. Yeah, if they didn't have bodyguard rule, that would make the Sisters of Army Andrew plays like so much easier to deal with. I guess we'll see what they do though, right? Sisters might get a points FAQ. Who knows? I mean, they balanced Inceptors a couple of times, right? I just feel like their last round of balancing was poor, to be honest. Like, really poor. Like, they made Vanguard Veterans more expensive. They made... I really don't understand why they made Sangori Guard more expensive. Like, if anything, I felt like Sangori Guard could have used an extra wound. They didn't need to become more expensive. I can't explain to you why it's not the same amount of data. It's an IT and a codec thing. Alright, yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So they probably have to use a different codec because there's data going back and forth, but still. Yeah, so have you used a Steam Link then? Does it work well if it's wired in, or if is the problem just that I'm using Wi-Fi and my Wi-Fi is not up to the task? Like, but still, a handheld Steam device sounds pretty cool. The thing that's great about Steam though is, right, you always they always have sales, right? You can always get deals on Steam. You know, like, that's why I'm actually don't like are you wired connecting via power line? No, I'm just Wi-Fi on my Steam Link. That's why I don't like the idea. You know how, like, I don't have a PlayStation 5 or a new Xbox, but I believe both those consoles now have the ability to have like a version of the console with no disc drive and be like digital only, and it costs like $100 less. Now, I'll tell you the reason that I don't like that is, like, I always like in the drug. So we don't call. In UK, we call it a superstore. I don't know what you call it in America, but like Walmart, for example, like, would you call that a superstore, or do you call that like a drugstore? What would you call Walmart in America? Like the name, like not Walmart specifically, right? Because in America, you've got like Publix, you've got like Walmart. I actually don't know any other shopping markets. What do you call a shopping market in America? Company veterans with Storm Shield and Power Axe is 27 points, while Sacrosants are 14 points. Yeah, and Sacrosants can heroically intervene and set to defend as well. My Steam Link's wired and it's still shit. Alright, okay. So it's just probably the Steam Link's a bit shit. I see. Alright. Yeah, so what do you call a supermarket in America? Is it just called a supermarket, or what's it called? A superstore or a big box store. Shopping market is the grocery store. All right, in the shopping markets here in the UK, like I would call, like, one of our shopping markets is called Asda's, right? And it's actually owned by Walmart, so it's basically the UK version of Walmart. But they have like a small section in there that like sells like movies and video games and shit like that. And like you always find deals. I guess like they only have a small number of video games. Let's say like they just have like, do you know what? Usually they have a section. It's like the top 10 video games right now. So it'll be like the top 10 games on PlayStation 4 or PS5 or whatever, and they'll have like the top 10 games on like Xbox One or 360 or whatever. I'm more of a PlayStation person, so I couldn't tell you the model names for the Xboxes. But anyway. You know, like the idea of getting the console without the disc drive to save $100. I was like, see if you don't need those games on release date. I found the new God of War game in that superstore or supermarket or whatever we're calling it. I found like God of War in there for like $12.99. A new PlayStation 4 game is like $60. So like that was literally like 80% off. And yeah, sure, there was like only one copy in the store. I guess it had fallen out of the top 10 and they didn't want it anymore. But like, I always find games in those superstores like way cheaper. And like, so if you buy the digital version only of the console, you don't get that. To me, like, I'd rather pay the money up front and then have the option to find the bargains, because you will always find the bargains. And or eBay. I'm like the biggest buyer on eBay. I find Warhammer models brand new in box on eBay for like half the cost. It's a box of A box of infiltrators, or the ones that can be made into incursors in the UK, is about $35. I found a box on eBay for 12, like $11.99 or something, including postage. Good evening, Ross. How you doing? Hey, Net. What did you miss? Nothing. We're just hanging out, painting some company veterans, just chatting shit, enjoying Saturday night. As you do. Summer is sort of starting to come to an end in Scotland, so it's been a few good weeks, and yeah, not much is happening. I'm trying to get these guys ready for a tournament that I've got coming up. I think I'm going to be using them in my army list. I'm pretty confident that I am. I've only actually used them like one time, and they didn't do very well, but you know, one time is never a good indication, so we'll use them a few more times and see. So just getting a little bit of paint, base colors on these guys, I guess. It'd be nice to have some cool mechanic like Sister's Miracle Dice, or all the AdMech command phase stuff, or just something to give us a little more flavor. Yeah, I mean, who knows, right? At the beginning of 8th edition, we were not in a good spot as well, and then halfway through 8th edition, that's when they added the Savage Echoes rule in the Psychic Awakening book, and that took us from like being a very weak army, I'd say, to being a decent-ish army. So maybe we'll get something in the middle of this edition as well that's something like that. Frank says, I'm in California, so the other side of the country uses different vernacular. I have no idea what you mean by that. I'm gonna have to Google that word. See, in Scotland, we actually speak with a lot of slang. All right. So it's the language or dialect spoken by ordinary people in a particular region. I'm with you. I never even knew that word, but yeah, in Scotland we actually speak with a lot of slang, Frank. So that's probably like, I think it's one of the reasons that I'm generally really bad at spelling, because words get abbreviated in Scotland all the time. Like everything gets shortened. If it can be made shortened or shorter, like if syllables can be removed, then the syllables get removed, and people generally speak very, very quickly. But yeah, okay, big box store, superstore. That's the sort of store. I always find bargains in those stores. You just got to know. You just got to have patience, and you just got to know what you're looking for, really. What part of California are you from? Because I was in San Francisco in, it would have been like March 2019, and I thought San Francisco was a cool place, but holy balls was it expensive. Everything there seemed crazy pricey, but it seemed like a nice place. Definitely going to see some heavy nerfs for Sister and Admech at some point. Think Blood Angels are handicapped just enough for GW to ignore us for a long time, but maybe the Battle Predator will become 2 points cheaper. Hey Jason, thank you so much for becoming a member. I'm not sure we've met, Jason, but thank you nonetheless. Sometimes people like to hang out and just watch. That's cool. Appreciate the support. Honestly, it means so much. The channel, this channel is just growing and growing and growing, and hopefully keep putting out good content for you guys. Thanks for following, Cuss. I don't think we've met either, so thanks for hanging out, thanks for following, appreciate it. I bought 10 infiltrators a while ago for £20. Love eBay for models. Yeah, eBay, you can find a steal. I guess if people are just trying to shift stuff quickly, again, just have patience and just look around. But yeah, you can definitely find stuff. What was I painting before what was I doing? Oh, I was painting this bit on the top. Okay. Hard to get into this bit in here. Death vision's not good enough for you. The death visions are very situational, Jar. And I actually don't like that. You know the death vision that gives you the 3++ invulnerable save, or the 3+ invulnerable save? You only get to use that death vision when you are selected to fight, which means if you're charged, you can't actually use that death vision before the enemy fights. So that's really annoying as well. And obviously Death Visions are only Death Company characters and not the whole Death Company. If they were the whole Death Company, then maybe. Scottish slang is my favourite. Yeah, Scottish slang is very different on which area of Scotland you're from. As you go further north, I feel like the slang becomes, I guess, quicker would be the way to describe it. I just built a Gladiator Inferno. You can't post a you can't post a picture into chat here on YouTube, but you can post it into the Discord. And now that you're a channel member, you get access to the members only room on Discord, which is, it's a great place to hang out with all the other, I guess, how would we call ourselves? Zealots? And when I say zealots, I don't mean like mad, crazy fanatics. I mean, maybe zealots is the wrong word here. This is why I was saying I was bad at English. Zealots. Let me put this into Google. What does zealots mean? A person who's fanatical. Okay, that's not what I meant. I meant people that were passionate about Blood Angels. So we talk all the time in the members only room about army lists, about strategies. I get a lot of help from the members as well, actually, on my lists as we try and take on those Andrew's Sisters of Battle and stuff every week. So yeah, definitely, if you don't have Discord, Highland Phoenix just joined Discord this week. Or was it last week? It feels like we've been asking Highland Phoenix to join Discord for about 6 months. Highland Phoenix is now in the Discord, and he's there, he's answering questions, he's talking army lists. I mean, if there was ever a reason, the true sons of Sanguinius, that's a better way to put it, Camille. If there was ever a reason to join Discord now, there is a reason, because Highland Phoenix is in the Discord. And do you know what? Some of the best videos we've made on the channel, I've actually had help from Highland Phoenix on. He's a very knowledgeable player, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong here, Highland, but it was you that turned me on to the Vindicator laser destroyers, right? Because you were like, John, you have to try out these Vindicator laser destroyers. Have you done the maths on them? I still don't own a laser destroyer, I'm sorry to say, but maybe I need to shift that up my priority list. See, this tournament I'm going to is a non-Forge World tournament. So I've been focusing very much on trying to build a fully non-Forge World list. And also, see, I got a lot of comments on the channel as well that people actually want to see me win games with non-Forge World stuff, because they're like, yo, dude, in my country, I mean, I live in the UK, right? So like, the prices of the GW stuff here are not bad because GW are based in UK, but in some other countries, the Games Workshop stuff is super expensive. So some people were like, hey, can you do videos without Forge World stuff? Because in my country, GW stuff or Forge World stuff is just like crazy priced and I just can't afford it. So I was like, yeah, it's been a few weeks. Well, it feels like it's just been 1 week because we were waiting so long for you to come on, Highland Phoenix. So, but I'm glad you did. We have a lot of good conversations about army lists and stuff. It took you long enough though, didn't it? All hail Highland Phoenix. But yeah, back to my point then. Jason, if you join the Discord, you can post. We actually have a dedicated channel for model photos. I think it's called like Army Painting. So yeah, join Discord, link up your YouTube account to Discord, and then you get access to the members only room. And yeah, hopefully we'll catch you in there. And yeah, if you have questions or you have an army list you want to submit for a future review on the live show, which is every Sunday at 4 o'clock, you can either drop a comment on the latest community post or you can DM me on Discord. That works as well. You can tell lockdown's open because I can hear drunk people outside my house. Or sorry, you can tell lockdown's over because I can hear drunk people outside my house. Who wants to get drunk on a Saturday night anyway when you can paint miniatures, right? That's a better use of your money, surely. Can someone add me, please? There's a link. I can put the link. Hold on. I'll get you a link. Create invite, copy. There you go. That should get you in. The Americans get, the Australians really get screwed with the prices. Yeah, I mean, Australia is literally on the other side of the world, and I believe they do all the manufacturing here in the UK, so it's a long way to ship the stuff, I guess. And yeah, I don't know if the Australian dollar is just a little bit weaker as well than the UK pound, but yeah, I mean, the stuff that I've seen, I think in Australia, it's almost like double the price of what we have to pay here in the UK for the miniatures, which is rough. Because I think it's quite an expensive hobby even as is, I like getting drunk on Thursday nights, says Tony. Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, so Australian dollars is 50 cents to the pound. It has been for a good while. Yeah. I actually have some family members from Australia that the last time they visited the UK was like after Brexit, and they were like, this is the best time we've ever come to the UK because the pound is so weak because of Brexit. They actually got like way more money than when they normally come. I'm going to try making Dante out of the Stormcast Prosecutor models. I've seen it done here on YouTube by someone and it looked pretty cool. I mean, if you want to say the name of the channel that did it, Kevin, I don't mind. I'm not worried about you sharing ideas or stuff of other YouTube channels here. I know some creators can get a bit funny, but I mean, if I'm not making a video about converting them, it's not like, you know, I'm totally happy for you to share it, or share it in Discord as well. That'd be fine. I would actually watch it as well, because I like seeing how some of the, you know, I actually think Games Workshop are missing a huge trick, eh? Like with all these Stormcast models looking like they would just fit or work perfectly for Blood Angels. Why are we not just getting some cool new models, you know? Like, it's so strange that the Stormcast are basically what we want, you know? Like, new characters with cool looking wings and all this sort of stuff, and it's like we just don't get them. I don't really understand it. Well, yeah, when my video this week comes out, I think it'll be this week, about Make Dante Great Again. You guys can all comment on it, and maybe we should try and have like a mass movement where we share the video on the Games Workshop socials or something, and be like, Make Dante Great Again. Like, everyone just start using the hashtag. There's been some good years. In 2014, Australian was 1-to-1 with USD. Warhammer community posted a pretty cool Blood Angels army with custode models for the Sanguinary Guard. It was really good and beefy. Yeah, you know, I found that very strange that they shared that, right? Like, they share like a really cool looking Blood Angels army on the community site, but like, and obviously the guy that made that army, more power to him, right? Like, he's made a really cool army, and he's obviously spent a lot of time on it, but like, almost every model was converted, right? Like, the characters were converted, and I don't think he converted it because he, like, sure, some of it he probably did because he wanted to, but probably part of the reason he converted it is because he just thought the stuff that he could do looks a bit shit, you know? He's like, well, that model hasn't been updated in 20 years, so I'll convert one out of a Primaris Marine or something, you know? Like, that's how it's happening. So it's like, hello, Games Workshop. If you give us new model, it reminds me of that quote from Wayne's World, right? Where he's like, oh, someone's gonna know the quote, right? It's like, if you book them, they will come, right? Was that not it? When they're trying to organize like the big showdown at the end of Wayne's World 2 or something, right? Brian from Tabletop Titans used Vitari wings on his Sanguinary Guard. He must have spent a damn fortune. Yeah, or found someone that didn't want them. But yeah, it's... I mean, it's cool that people convert them, but like, would it not just be better if they actually realized what we want and maybe gave us some new models? I mean, like, when I did that survey on the channel, it was like 80% of people wanted a better Dante or a new Dante, you know? Yeah, if you build it, they will come. Yeah, you're right. Man, I haven't seen Field of Dreams in a long time. That was Kevin Costner, right? I bought the original Metal Dante when he first came out, and I still haven't painted him. Alright, Leonard, you win. What year did he first come out? I actually don't know. I think it was like early 90s, right? Benjamin, I don't know if I believe you. Yeah, I mean, our rules definitely didn't... The rules barely changed, you know, like our characters between 8th and 9th edition, I don't think anything changed, to be honest. Maybe Dante got like +1 CP, which I felt was pretty lackluster. Alright, I got about 10 more minutes tonight, guys. I usually try and head to bed about midnight. But we are back tomorrow for the Army List show, as always. And that is at 4 o'clock UK time. We'll be looking at 4 Army Lists. 2 from members, 2 from non-members. And then on Monday night, I think we're playing Death Guard. I will double confirm that before Monday, obviously. But yeah, I think the live game on Monday night will be Death Guard. And I think I've told Colin to bring his tournament list. So hopefully that means we'll have a really strong Death Guard list to fight against on Monday. And I think I'll probably try and use a similar list, or maybe even the same list I played against Andrew last week. I kind of want to see how that list does against like a non-crazy powerful codex, because I felt like it was a decent list. So I might make like one change, because I do fancy getting that Primaris Chaplain in. But yeah, for the most part, I think it'll be very similar list to what we had. I have the original Metal Tycho somewhere. I got 2, one just sat in a box. Tycho is a funny one, right? Like, you just... I don't know why he's even in our codex, honestly. He's definitely not competitive. I'll say that about Tycho. It seems like the newer models are so much better in other chapters, like Outriders and White Scars with fallback and charge, and Invictors and Ultramarines with redeploy. Yeah, I mean, like, I think we're overdue for... And something's just missed the mark, right? Because I think Death Company Intercessors are kind of terrible. And I don't... You know, at Christmas time, I think it was about Christmas time, the Death Company Intercessors were coming out, and people were, like, chatting on the forums and like, oh yeah, we're going to buy Death Company Intercessors. Thanks for hanging out, Brendan, appreciate it. And I was just like... I almost felt bad for them. I was like, man, you really don't want to spend your money on Death Company Intercessors. Like, I just don't think you're going to get much use out of them. You want to see Colin taking... I don't think Colin runs Defilers. It seems to me that he really likes either the Death Shroud or the Blight Lords. But I think he's running 2 Plague Burst Crawlers in his new list, right? Which is fine. Like, I think if I was a Death Guard player, I'd probably run 3 Plague Burst Crawlers. I think for their points cost, I think they're really great. I mean, the fact they have an invulnerable save and the -1 damage on a vehicle, and they have the mortar, and they have the D3+3 entropy cannons. So they basically have better las cannons than Space Marines, better indirect fire than a Whirlwind, better survivability than both, and an invulnerable save. Like, I just think the Plague Burst Crawlers are in a really great spot, right? I was convinced they were going to go up in points, honestly. Like, when they did chapter approved, I thought, like, there's no way Plague Burst Crawlers stay at 165 points. But apparently, what do I know? Not much, because they stayed at 165 points. Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with you, Dex. I don't know how much I want to lean into that, because I think if I lean too heavily into saying that the Codex missed the mark, then some people just think that I'm complaining, because, like, Blood Angels are the one chapter I play, so, like, should I just maybe suck it up a bit? So, I don't know. I do feel like we don't have as much tools as some of these other chapters. Or other armies, rather, not chapters. And it is way too hot in here tonight. This grey paint is not staying wet for any length of time at all. If I was Dark Angels player, I'd be pretty happy, I think. Yeah, I mean, Dark Angels gonna... Yeah. I don't know what they needed to do for Blood Angels. Like an inherent... Like, I talked a few times about this. Like, I feel like if we'd had, like, some sort of inherent bonus for all of our jump infantry or something. The -1 damage being so common, and the fact that there's a lot of things now that can counter our red thirst rule just makes me feel like we need something else. Here's a thought, right? See if we got Standard of Sacrifice back. Would that fix things? Does anyone... Because I thought Standard of Sacrifice was one of the things that gave us like an immense amount of power last edition. We have the Mighty Ball Predator. What else do you need? I really want Standard of Sacrifice back. Yeah. I mean, if Standard of Sacrifice came back, I'd probably rework my list to find a way to get the Sangre Ancient back in there. In some ways, yeah. Yeah, I just think it was really great. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I didn't really run bikers in 8th edition. Did the Standard of Sacrifice work on bikers, or was it infantry only? Did anyone run bikers in 8th edition? I hate you, John Williams. Go back to making Star Wars music. It did include bikers. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I guess the priest kind of does that, but the priest is so expensive, you know? I mean, it kind of does something similar, I guess, but... Alright guys, I think I'm going to call it. We got a little bit done of these guys. Certainly look better than when we started, huh? Got a lot to go, but there's some more colours on. Non-vehicle unit. Yeah, morale tests on the guys that think they're a Primarch. That's very true. They think they're a Primarch and they think they're in the final battle against Horus, right? Like, what morale do they need? You're 100% right. They took a... Oh, you bought a lot of banners. Okay. Alright guys, well, I am going to call it a night. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you again for watching the Elite Tier List video this week. Really appreciate all the support and comments we had over there. Hopefully see some of you guys tomorrow, and I guess in the meantime, yeah, exactly, a Primarch who knew they were going to die fighting Horus. What morale? Why do they need to be a morale test? I have not... No one has put it more clear than that ever to me, Benjamin. If there was ever a reason that Death Company do not need to take morale, I think you just nailed it right on the head. Maybe we need to make that into short. I'll maybe make that into short, yeah. Sounds like Sanguinius passed their morale test on the Vengeful Spirit. Yes, he certainly did. Okay. All right, guys. Yeah, we will catch you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Good evening, and by the blood are we made strong. Peace.